I'm going to talk about Outcrop's flagship property in Colombia, the Santa Ana. It has a very rich colonial history. The Spaniards were mining there starting in the early 1500s. At some points in its history, or the Spanish colonial history, it was the highest grade in the empire. We have a very high grade gold discovery, silver gold discovery there, and we think we're working the project towards a future mine. Typical forward-looking statements about risk and risks, potential outcome on events. So very importantly, and what I need to stress is that Santa Ana is going to reach a milestone at the end of the year. We're moving a discovery to the next stage of value with a compliant resource. We have an internal guidance with the appropriate BCSC disclosures of 45 to 55 million silver equivalent ounces at between 550 to 750 grams silver equivalent per ton. And again, that's coming out before the end of the year. Just a quick overview, infrastructure, it's good highway access, grid power, water can be developed on the property, very strong community support, and excellent security conditions. We've, the resource will be supported by almost 48,000 meters of drilling. If you just take a snapshot at the average of those drill intercepts, we have 198 of 284 drill holes that average 1,558 grams equivalent silver per ton. That's roughly 8 grams gold, 860 grams silver, and very little else. There's some nominal lead zinc, but it may not even show up in the economics. Potential, we are exploring 18 kilometers of cumulative vein length. We actually have 60 kilometers identified on the property. Those veins, those are actual vein zones. Each of the veins might be made up of 4 or 5 individual strands within the zone. For our back of envelope planning, we see a discovery success rate of about 4.9 million silver equivalent ounces for each kilometer vein zone we drill. Projects advanced stage, like I mentioned. Importantly, we'll put out the maiden resource before the end of the year, and we hope we can, or we think we might be able to put in a revised resource report before the end of 2023 or early 2024. I'll show you why that's possible. Just a quick company snapshot with the last financing. We have 187 million shares outstanding. Fully diluted 296. We have coverage by Stuart McDougall with Research Capital as a speculative buy. Outcrop as a speculative buy and a target forecast of 75 cents if we do produce the 50 million silver equivalent ounces. Eric Sprott still maintaining 17% of the company. Management and directors have 15%, and the rest is high net worth investors and retail. Just some recent headliner assays. These kind of assays really help on a weighted average basis for a narrow vein system. So just recently in October, we had over 2 meters of over 2 kilograms equivalent silver. In August, we had almost 9 meters of 1.6 kilograms equivalent silver. July, 6.93 of 2.1 kilograms. And June, 1.85 meters of 7.8 kilograms. We're exploring on the this southeastmost strand of about 5 different vein zones. It's kind of anchored on the northeast by the actual Royal Santa Ana mines and to the southwest by the Frias mine. The Frias mine is important for us because it produced 8 million ounces of silver in a very small footprint. The maiden resource will use less than 30%, or represent, the maiden resource vein segments represent 30% of the advanced targets. This blue polygon is just the 6,000 hectares we have fully permitted of a total of 36,000 hectares, and less than 15% of the project has advanced exploration. This is just a typical of the chutes. We're doing the resource estimation on 9 veins, 12 chutes total. Les Mares is overall 1.6 meters true thickness at 1,161 grams silver equivalent, weighted average. It's completely open at 370 meters depth, which is real good news for us because we really haven't been drilling at depth. We wanted to produce mineralization along strike that was cheaper and faster. So now we know we have mineralization to 370 meters at least. Los Naranjos is quite a large, over 200 meters, 250 meters along strike. It's 77 meters true thickness. 0.77 meters true thickness, 1,110 grams equivalent per ton, and it's open at 180 meters depth. Important to narrow vein systems is, in particular for Santa Ana, is wherever there's high grade or high angle veins, they're typically occur in packages. You can group them together, composite them together, veins in the intervening wall rock. In this case, in the middle of one of the northern chutes of Roberto Tovar, you can do the compositing and come up with 8 meters true thickness at 450 equivalent grams silver per ton. You don't have to do a lot of compositing. We found is just on a volume basis, if we can composite 15% of the veins by volume, our average true thickness will go from 0.76 to almost 1.52. Mineralogy and metallurgy, these are pretty pictures that mean things. This is 90% of the gold is in free native state, at least 90%, so basically free milling. So half the value in the rock is actually free milling ore. 4% in 70 to 30 silver gold electrum, 88% of the silver in argentite, also known as acanthite. The nice thing about that is that the composition of argentite is 87% silver. So you have very simple mineralogy and metallurgy to deal with. Silver gold recoveries to concentrate, and also in the case of gold, the actual solvent extraction, cyanide extraction, 80 to 90% of the sulfides can be liberated at between 53 and 106 microns. That's good. Average recoveries for silver is 94%. Average for silver for gold is 96%, and the concentrate consists of 6.5 kilograms silver and almost 83 grams silver. So the big question about Colombia, it was the election of Gustavo Petro. A lot of miners and explorers, frankly, were holding their breath. But so far, they've indicated their government is not anti-mining. They do want socially responsible and environmentally responsible mining, of course. But in particular, Gustavo Petro wants to see the benefits of exploration and mining to bring opportunity to deprived communities. So I can't say what other projects may have in Colombia, difficulties may have in Colombia, but I think Santa Ana is just going to go chugging along and is actually going to be supported by the communities and continue to be supported by the community and the government. So why Outcrop overall in Santa Ana? We're a team of ore finders and mine builders. I've made several important discoveries. The VPX we just hired, who hired away from Lundin Gold at Fruta del Norte. He was actually doing resource estimation for them, so he's a timely hire as we go into our resource estimation. We have a rapidly growing discovery. Right now we have over 2.8 kilometers strike length of potential resource that's going to be evaluated or estimated for resource, and we have much more targets identified. It's a world-class system. It's 60 kilometers, and those kilometers are composites. So we might be looking at 200 kilometers of veins. That puts it in the class of the famous Mexican districts like Guanajuato and Fresnillo. Substantially de-risked. I mean, 284 core holes, 70% success rate is what we're maintaining on ore grade hits, high grade hits, I should say. Very strong social license. The community actually advocates for us in public settings. We think we're building a mine with respect to this resource, and particularly with respect to the grade, and we think we're undervalued. We think that when the resource report comes out, instead of being evaluated sort of subjectively as an exploration play, that there will be a calculation of, you know, X million silver equivalent ounces times some dollar per ounce, and it'll certainly be more than what our, should certainly be more than what our market cap is worth right now.